All right, welcome, y'all. Welcome to Talks with Verne. You are streaming with your girl Verne today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So it's been asked of me to do a Q&A, and we are here to do a Q&A. I apologize for the tardiness. Tonight or this evening, we are live streaming from all platforms this evening. So bear with us as we are testing this out. So hello, YouTubers. Hello, Instagram. Hello, Twitter. And hello, TikTok, as well as Facebook. Welcome. I'm your host, Laverne. And as I said, tonight is a Q&A this evening. I hope that you guys are doing well. You get to learn about Talks with Verne. And a few weeks ago, I put out about questions, asking you guys to send in your questions, whether you email them, DM them, or what have you. Guess what? We got them in. And I haven't seen some of the questions, but I'm going to answer them the best way that I can and the realest and authentic way as possible. So, again, thank you for tuning in. Feel free to tune in and comment in the comments to be a part of the show. All right. Moderators, let's get started with the Q&As. Okay, so first question: when was the best year of your life? So let's think about it. So I would say the best year of my life. Oh my God. I would say, let me see. Oh, I don't know. I want to say my prime years, my 20s. I had fun. I had my kids. I began to learn what it is to be a parent, to be an adult. So I would say my prime years, just getting into adulthood and learning adulthood. That will be the best year of my life for me. Okay. If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be? I would say I would like to be remembered. I would say my heart. Like I have the biggest heart ever. Like I'm a giver by nature, so I'm always that person that's wanting to give. So I would say the biggest thing that I would want to be remembered by is that, hey, her heart. She has a heart of gold, and she's willing to do any and everything that she can for others. My moderators got these questions coming in. So if you have questions that you want to ask and you didn't quite get your questions in, feel free to add them. Okay. What is your favorite trip you ever taken? Favorite trip. Um, I want to say Korea. I really enjoyed Korea. I lived there for almost 3 years. Um, and I want to say Niagara Falls. Like I love Niagara Falls. It's just breathtaking. The views are extraordinary. So for me, I would say Niagara Falls. And of course, I love Korea. Shop, shop, shop. Have you ever met someone famous? So for me, yes, I have. I've met the Mann family, Tamla Mann and her husband. I've met Kirk Franklin. Um, who else? Local artists. It's too many to name. But the names that I gave are pretty big names. Oh, and Usher. I met Usher. So those are the top three that I have met directly. I hope you guys having a good day. Make sure you guys tune in. Tell me where you're watching from. Okay, if you had to choose what people, if let me make sure I'm reading this right. If you had to choose what people do you trust around your children and why? I'm trying to read that question. If you had to choose what people you trust around your children and why? Okay, so if I had to choose, I think just having that discernment, knowing who the people you allowed around your kids, um, because so much is going on in today's world. You really want to be um, very sure and aware of those that you have around your life, um, as well as who intertwines with your kids. So I would just say um, I don't want to categorize people in general, but I would say just having that discernment of who to have around your children. Like if you have that gut feeling, like, hey, I don't know about this person or whatever. If you have second thoughts, I would say don't do it. But I don't have a particular person that I would necessarily be like, okay, these are the people. You know, of course, we have our close knit friends, we have our close circle. So if those are the people, then that's who I would say for me. But yeah. But brother Nate, you can always come pick up KJ anytime. Okay, what is your most influential spiritual leaders? Um, of course, our very own Pastor and First Lady, um, Pastor is Henderson out of Houston, Texas. Um, uh, it's so I got a brain fart. Prophetess, what is his name? I don't know. But lately, it's of course our very own, and then Pastor Henderson. Okay, Qatar was the best trip I've taken. One of the which is it? I haven't been there, so I want to go then. Listen, are you going on a class trip? Because we talked about the class trip now. You coming? But I definitely need to check out Qatar. That's cool. If you see me looking at it, we are doing a new setup tonight, so I'm trying to make sure we are. Um, I can see everybody, all these comments. So I appreciate the love, and my moderators in the background try to get to them the best that they can. So I appreciate that. What has been your favorite job that you have held? Favorite job. Of course, y'all know I'm an army chick, so I would say the army. Like it's the easiest trying job at times, but I would say it was literally my favorite. I get to travel for free. Um, I'm gonna get paid regardless if I'm sick. If I can't make it to work and I got a call, sick call, I'm still gonna get paid. The life insurance policies are amazing. The medical is amazing. So it's really a win-win. It is a sacrifice deploying and things like that, but for the most part, the army is definitely what you make it. But yeah, if I had to change anything about that job, it would be for the military to not to make it to where dual spouses could not deploy at the same time. Surprisingly, and this policy has not changed, but the Army is the only branch that will allow both spouses to deploy at the same time. And I think it's very important that um, you have that boundary um, to where, or that not necessarily boundary, but you have that more so you need to not leave, both parents leave their kids behind. So for me, I was one of those that got into that situation, and I chose my kids over the military. I didn't want no one else raising my kids. I didn't want to miss those important moments in their life. So I was that person that's like, hey, the military trying to send us both, that's not gonna work. I don't want nobody raising my kids. So that would be something I definitely would change. But it's a great job. Okay. I got him so soon as I'm trying to reach a comment. I got him so as we get the all clear, and I meet President Obama when he came to El Paso in 2012. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that. All right now. Okay. If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be? Uh, Jesus, Verne at 18, y'all. So what I would tell my 18-year-old self, um, would be probably more so to never give up, and to keep going. Because I had a time in my life where um, I became depressed. Um, I lost my father at a young age. I began to um, more so just have, try to fill that void with other things, relationships. I feel like I would have done a lot. I would have probably learned a lot, got a lot more wisdom if I um, just had that more of a guidance in that area. So I would definitely just tell myself, a lot of things. Slow down, take your time. Um, yeah, it's a lot of things. Like that could be a minute now. If you could live anywhere in the world, what would it be? I would say Canada. I love Canada. Um, yeah, so I would say Canada. The views are just breathtaking. So, and I'm glad I didn't see pretty much all of these questions because y'all are catching me off guard over here now. So Canada, I would say that. If you could have coffee with any historical figure, who would you choose? Mm, I would say Maya Angelou. Like, just to get that wisdom and that knowledge from her, like she's the nuggets she be giving out is just like one of those things. Like, wow. So I would say Maya Angelou. I really like her. Even Michelle Obama, and not just because she's our first lady, but like if you really listen to her and the way she communicates, the way she talks, and the stuff she says, it's very inspiring as well. Ooh, if I won $10 million tomorrow, what would you spend it on? I don't even know that I would spend that now. I think for me, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't spend it because we know we're gonna go shopping, we're gonna do a lot of things. But I think for me, it would be more so investing. I think a lot of times people come across a large amount of money and they just they blow it. So I would invest it. I would invest it, of course. Oh, y'all nosy. Okay, what is my relationship status? I'm single, um, of course. So I'm single. That's my relationship status. When was the worst year of your life? The worst year. I don't want to say that I had a worst year because I think they're all lessons. But if I had to, I guess, pick a year, I would say the year my father passed. Um, yeah, that would be the worst year for me because I feel like that's when it kind of all started. Of just being, fatherless and not having that companion, that guidance of a father. I mean, it was just, I mean, it was crazy. I think anyone that has their fathers, has their mothers, hold on to them because tomorrow is not promised to us. Um, so yeah, I would say the year I lost my dad. Mine too, since a week before. Oh no. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, like it is very difficult um trying to um live life and go on after a passing and things like that. The grieving process, there's not a time frame on it. So it's definitely it could be a trying time in your life. It can be a traumatic time. It could be um that was trauma for me. Like that was a lot for me to go through the years and not have that. So yeah, every time I would go to you know how they have like the father daughter dances, and somebody get married and then they do that. Like I didn't get none of that. I didn't get the proms. I didn't get the father daughter dances. I didn't get none of that. So yeah, that's a lot. So I'm sorry. No, no, no. Do you want more kids? No, they are definitely a blessing. They're expensive, honey, and Vern don't want to pop out. No, no, no more. No, no more. If I had to, I mean, but that's like a slim chance to none. But if I had, no, mm-mm, I'm good. I pass. I leave that to the young folks, to someone else. I'm good. If it happened and I was blessed to do that, then I would, but no. Oh, somebody must know about me singing. Yeah, I do. I do sing. I still sing. Um, I do. My kids hear me all the time. Um, yeah, I still love to sing. I was the daddy's girl. I feel your pain, girl. When I tell you, like, if I could bring somebody back, I bring my daddy back. Like, I would love to get those years back and just do all the special things. You know, that song just, and it's so crazy because I want to say on was it my sister? It was my sister's wedding, and they played what's that song to dance with my father again. And girl, I want to say me and my whole like everybody, my whole daddy side that was there, we just immediately was bawling. Like it's a lot to deal with that, and especially when you grow up and you realize your life and things that transpired. Yeah, it's a lot. But sorry for your loss, boo boo. Love you. Okay. Do you think there is a part of you that you lost? Yeah. To be honest, yeah, I do think there was a part of me that I lost at a very young age. And just, I guess for me, just trying to figure life out, um, giving up, just whatever mindset, not a care in the world at times. So, yeah. Um, but by the grace of God, I'm still here, and I've been able to overcome a lot of things. And so I'm thankful every day is a challenge for me. It's not peachy and creamy all the time. Yeah, she cute and all this other stuff. That's cool, but the root of it all, I have my days like anybody else that have their days. And if you're talking to somebody and they tell you they don't have their days and they got it all together, honey, they lying. They do not have it all together, because I don't believe nobody has it all together. I don't think no one is perfect. So yeah. You hate, girl. Listen, like it's cool, but yeah, it can be a lot. Who sings that song? I want to remember who sings that song, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. I kind of got a brain for it. Y'all look, because when I tell y'all, when y'all submitted these questions, so I had my moderator receive all the questions, gave my password and stuff. And so, because I wanted it to be very authentic when I answered the questions and or what have you. So today, just like looking on the side of my screen is where I can kind of see some of the questions that's here, but I wanted to be very real and transparent, without seeing the questions that came in. So yeah, girl, yeah, it was Luther. Luther. Yeah, girl. Yeah. It's a good song, but yeah. Okay, what is more painful, clinging to toxic love or leaving someone you love but no longer care for? I would say for me, um, clinging um, to toxic love. And I want to say that because sometimes we can find ourselves in situations or relationships that we know are toxic, and we're trying to hold on to it. Um, and to me, that could be more tragic in the long run. Versus just leaving someone you love but no longer care for. Because I mean, we don't care for a lot of people. So we could deal with a person today and not deal with them tomorrow, but we just kind of we keep it cordial, we keep it cute, but I don't want to be clinging on to toxic love. Especially when I know something is not good for me. I don't want to be accepting of anything that is not good for me. Um, I don't want to do any of those things. I want to be alert. Um, I want to be aware. And to me, having knowledge is power. And so when you know something is not right and you know something is not for you, it's for me personally. I'm not for the cling to it. So I think it's more painful to cling on to toxic behaviors and toxic people. So if I could change one thing, oh God. It's a few things. Now we said one thing, so I'll just say one since someone has said one thing, but it's a few things. Um, I would say, mm, I would say, a lot of people don't know. Well, some people know, but some people don't. But I'll just say, um, with my father, I think it's very traumatic for a young girl of any age to see their father killed in front of them. Um, so yeah, I would say I would say that. Um, I would say that. I don't think that is, I don't wish that on anyone. It could be, it's traumatic. It's trauma. It's something you have to work through. Um, and it can impact your life in a number of ways. And it did my life just like that. So that is what I would change. I wouldn't want to see that. And what's so crazy, like I remember it like it happened yesterday. So that's how tragic something is or can be in kids' life is that this happened almost 30 years ago, right? But I remember if somebody asked me what happened, like I can literally like say what it is. Like from the time it started, what happened, what caused it, who did it, what was said, like that never just went away. And you would think that something like that would go away, but it just never went. It's never went away. It's never went away. What is more important, forgiveness or acceptance? So forgiveness, hands down. Um, it's very important for me to forgive. I don't care about being accepted. Those who are for you, and those who are not are not. Everybody in the stands is not going to be your fan. Everybody does not like Verne, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. I'm sure of who I am. So I don't need the acceptance, but forgiveness is very important for me to be able to forgive those or forgive to forgive those that like just ever did wrong of me. But I learned that I have to forgive myself in certain situations before I'm able to forgive others. um, So for the longest, like I just said, I told you guys about my father and how he was murdered in front of me. So for the longest, you're talking about a young woman, a little girl that did not even want to be at the same table in the same room with the person that murdered my father, right? So um, I was that person. I get invited to the family reunions. I get invited to the class. Uh, any type of function that involved that person being there. Oh, Vern wasn't going. Like I used to be like, honey, Vern, and my dad would be like rolling over in his grave if I'm sitting at the table breaking food or breaking bread with the person that murdered my father. Like it just wasn't happening. But I did get to a place in my life where I was able to forgive. And so for me, that was important because that allowed me to press forward and move on. That allowed me to not have any hatred towards this person, not to have an attitude towards this person, because it's not my place to judge. Yes, I'm going to have my feelings. I'm going to have um, my thoughts, my days, my all of that, but it's not my place. And I learned that. And so it got to a point, I was able to, I ended up going to a function with my family, and I seen him, and I greeted him. He gave me a hug, and it was at that very moment that he apologized. He had never apologized, and so that was a lot. Um, but it was a lot for me to do that. It was a lot for me to hear this guy out, and I'm trying not to get emotional, but it was a lot for me to deal with that. Yeah, I won't start crying on here. Will I ever write a book? Um, yeah. Um, I would say I would. I think when the time is right, I will do that. Um, I've always wanted to do that. I've always been asked to write a book. Um, a lot of my close friends that grew up with me in my childhood really experienced a lot of the traumatic things that I endured and went through. And so, of course, I'm grateful and I love them and I thank them for everything they ever done for me. Um, but yeah, I think I will. I think I will because I feel like um, one person's story could definitely help another person's story. I never come across as if I'm a specialist, I'm certified in anything. It's just, hey, this is my story, this is my life, and if whatever I've been through and can help somebody else, then that's my goal. My goal is, to do that. Help someone else that may have experienced or maybe going through the same things that I have that I have went through in my life. So yeah, yes, yes, yes. Just make sure you're there to sign it. Great podcast. You're gonna go for it. Thanks, Ma. Love you. Listen. So that is Sandra Twyman, the apostle of of Jesus. I can't get it out. She gonna kill me. But it's Grace. Tell me what it is, or I mess it up. I don't want to mess it up. Jesus, we just messaged about it, and I'm on it all the time, and I got a brain fart. I'm sorry. But listen, Sandra Twyman, she's live all the time. You can catch her live. I share her stuff as well, so you can definitely tune into her Partners in Grace. Look at God, came right back to me. Partners in Grace. You can definitely catch her when she goes live. Great woman of God. Always giving out those nuggets as well. Catch her podcast. She was live today actually too, and so she talked about us. I don't even want to go into it, but we needed to wake up, be aware, not to ignore the red flags in our life. So she's definitely that person that is gonna spit those nuggets. She's very faithful with going live. So If you're ever live or on Facebook and looking for someone to tune into, she's live all the time. Can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be? Listen, I remember being a little girl. It's so funny because when I was little, um, I was that person that like I kind of knew what I wanted to do. Look, you hear the head, knew what I wanted to do. And I always stuck to that, right? And surprisingly, I wanted to be a judge. Like I wanted to be a judge, but I didn't know who I was before the world tried to tell me who I should be. And I think that was one of the. I will say that's one of the good things about me. Like I knew what I wanted to do. Um, I wasn't afraid of what I wanted to do. Of course, stuff happened in my life, and I got to a place of depression, and I wanted to give up, and I didn't want to I just like, well, whatever I end up doing is whatever end up doing. But something, came upon me and I woke up like, no, we're not doing that, and I know that wasn't nobody but God that, just said, hey, you're not going down this path of destruction. You're going to stick to the goals that you want to do. And so, of course, I say I wanted to be a judge, and I started doing criminal justice classes initially. And then when I got in high school, I was in ROTC, and I just really loved that. Of course, I'm an Army brat. My father was military. My grandfather was military. A few of my cousins are military. And so when I got into that, I mean, I just grew a love for it. And I ended up being the first female in my family to go to the military. So that was something I was very proud of as well. So, but as far as the world will try to tell you everything that you need to be, who you need to be. So I think, we just have to stick to what we want to be. And I think that's the biggest thing, just knowing who you are, being assured of who you are, and sticking to your goals the best way you can without veering off. Because it's not going to be easy. Like I said, I initially, I want to be a judge because I used to watch some judge shows. And I'm like, I want to hit the little thing. And I want to be able to say, go to jail. But yeah, my path was different. But, I think if I ever had an opportunity, if I felt like going back to school, Lord, I'm glad it's over. I got my degree and I'm kind of good. And I feel like now, you can get a degree and things like that. But for me, I just kind of more so, if I ain't using it, I'm just like, I don't necessarily want to, be going to school because I hated doing those papers. I hated papers. But yeah. I know exactly who I was before the world tried to tell me who I needed to be. And I actually achieved those goals. If you could warn your past self about one thing, what would it be? Stick to your goals. For me, and my past. Well, no, you said warn. If you could warn your past, let me slow down so I can read this correct. If you could warn your past self about one thing, what would it be? Mm. Mm. One thing. Hmm. Y'all keep sending these messages with one thing, and it's like multiple things. I would say, I don't know. I say I don't know, but I'm thinking. If I could warn myself, past self about one thing, what would it be? I think would just be careful. I would tell myself to be careful about the people I surround myself with. Um, be mindful of the people you interact with. Be mindful of what you do. Um, yeah, I would tell my past self that because back then I don't think I was very I was mindful, but there's things that I wish I was more mindful about and not so necessarily gullible or, uh, yeah, not so gullible and just quick to do things. Just slow down, be mindful, think before I act and do. That's what I would say. I should have had me a little snack over here. What is my goal for 2024? Uh, I would say my goal for 2024 is to continue to walk on the path that I'm on, which is making sure I have a closer relationship with God, um, making sure that I am continuing to be very mindful about things that I do, um, how I interact, but uh, just having that spirit of discernment as well, never losing sight of myself, um, staying true to myself while also trying to be a vessel to others. um, I don't look to with doing talks with Verne or whatever. It's something I always wanted to do. I talked about doing this with my previous partner, of course. um, and it was a whole nother name. We had already had a whole YouTube channel and all that other stuff, but if things shifted, God told me, hey Vern, just because this happened in your life does not mean that you can't continue on with the goal that you set out for to do. And so my goal has always been to tell my story in hopes that it reaches others and helps others. So there's just kind of my goal is to make sure that I am being used in the proper way, um, and impacting people's lives in a positive light. So I would say that's one of my goals in reference to this platform and what it is that I'm doing. Who do you feel most yourself around and why? I would say my circle. My circle is very small. And I think everybody say their circle small, but I'm gonna tell you why my circle, and I'm gonna be very transparent. So in my circle, and I think everybody should achieve to have a circle like this. So if I have an outing, if I have an event, just girls' night or something like that, these are the same group of girls that I can cut up with. And when I say cut up, we'll have a glass of wine, we'll play some music, we'll dance and things like that. And guess what? Within probably shortly, just within that evening, these are the same people that I can pray, worship with, I can pour into, we can cry together, like no lie. Like literally my birthday event, for those that see me post pictures, we did a pink theme. So I asked the ladies to wear any shade of pink, right? And so we're having a good time, we're playing games, we're doing all this stuff, right? But in a slip of a moment, we go into praise and worship, or we're talking, we're pouring into each other about whatever. So it's okay to have fun. And people think that you can't have fun and you can't do the things that you love to do, or that you'll be frowned upon, or oh, you're not a Christian, or whatever. And so no, that's not it. So those are to answer the question, those are the people that I feel most comfortable around. I want to be able to be myself and know that these are the same people that I'm being myself around, is the same people that can pour into me, that can pray for me, that can motivate me, can uplift me. Um, that's the people I feel most myself around, and I think it just goes back to having that spirit of discernment. making sure you are aware of those people that you have in your life, in your circle, around you. Um, because when you don't have that, then guess what? It becomes chaotic and it becomes toxic, and you find yourself, bouncing around and woulda, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But no, when you find those loyal people that are very loyal to you, um, that embrace you and accept you for who you are, um, not ashamed of you. 'Cause you don't want them friends that, oh, they only want to be your friend when you got something going on, but when you down and out, or you ain't up here, those are the people that you want. That's gonna be with you through the trenches, you know. So yeah, that is the people that I feel most myself around. Oh, thank you, Sonia. I appreciate you. Love you. Listen, I'm rooting to get to. Are you still in North Carolina? We there Labor Day weekend. So let me know if you're still there. It'd be very great to catch up with you. Sonia's one of my good girlfriends. Um, she was here at Fort Sill with me as well. Always been real with me. Definitely that person that's gonna keep it real with me. That's gonna tell me the truth when I don't want to hear it. She gonna tell me the truth now. So she's a real good girlfriend of mine. Love you, girl. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna message you. I'll call you. Would you rather? Okay, next question. Would you rather change something from the past or get a clue about your future? Hmm. I, I think what's for me is for me. Um, but if I could change something about my past, of course, I always tell you guys that, and you probably can see that in my answers. Like, um, I would want to have that, father daughter experience that I didn't have growing up. And so I thank God for my spiritual parents. I thank God for um, the father figures that have entered my life and took me under their wing. And so I'm always grateful for those spiritual people that have filled in that gap. God fills in that gap. Um, yes, but I think what's for me is for me. I don't need a clue. God already knows. So when it happens, it's just I rather know when it happens. Oh, love you, love bug. You bring me so much joy. Love you, boo. Keep allowing God to use you in His way. Thank you. So, you guys, it's one of my good girlfriends too, Chanel. She's the bestie, um, good woman of God herself. So, love her to pieces. Okay. Who were you 10 years ago and would that person recognize you now? No, that person would not recognize me. I think it would recognize me, but it would be like, hey girl, I see you. Um, but 10 years ago, I want to say that I was a girl, and I know we say girl, but y'all know I'm a full woman over here. Um, I was the girl that, I've always had those dreams and aspirations of doing different things in my life, but I was the person that was afraid to step out and do them, right? So for years, Vern have talked about a book. For years, Vern has talked about having a podcast, having a YouTube, like I said, I just last year, we was in the process of doing a YouTube. We started it and all of that stuff, right? But we never got to the point where we went live. Things happen for a reason. But I was that person that was fear of doing certain things. I was just kind of like, I kind of do my own thing, but I kind of did it in the shadows per se. I wasn't that person that would just be in the forefront. Like I've never been that person that want to be on live, right? You know, if you knew about me doing something, you know, I didn't need a reward for doing it or anything. It's just like, okay, if you're looking to get this done, you can go to Laverne for this. But it never got to a place where I was just being on the forefront of just talking on live, you know. So the person definitely wouldn't recognize me because they'd be like, "That girl, like she coming out of her shell. She's you know she's going in the path that she said she wanted to go in, and she's not allowing fear to take over." So yeah, definitely will recognize me, but recognize me in a positive light. Or like, wow, she talked about it, now she's doing it. What is a good memory that replays in your head? Good memory? I always have good memories. Um, let's see. I tell you, these questions, they be catching me off guard because I'm trying to figure it out and answer the question. A good memory. Okay, yeah, this is a good memory. So, let me tell y'all honestly, um, I never wanted to be the person. I never really, I never really cared for school, right? So I always tell myself I never want to force my kids to be like, oh, you going to college, you gonna do this, you gonna do that, right? So I always said, hey, I'm not going to talk to my kids about college if I'm not gonna go to college. You like, I'm just not gonna do it. So a good memory for me is that I was able to go to college, get my bachelor's, and my kids was able to see their mother walk across stage. Like that was a great memory for me. And I think it was good to see them know that, hey, at any age it could be done. My mama done it. So now if I want to do it, then I can do it too. And I even thought it's so crazy. Who was I talking to? I think I was talking, I don't know. I might have been, I don't know if I was talking to Shakita. I was talking to someone. And we was talking about, I was like, oh, well, I need to, I was talking about going back for my master's, right? Because I only have 13, uh, 13 classes and I can get my master's, right? And I was like, oh, if I do that, then me and Kamaya we can graduate together. I'll be walking with my daughter walk. But then I thought to myself, well, nah, I don't want to do those papers, so that's not gonna happen. But yeah, that's a great memory seeing my kids seeing me graduate. Mm, or would you rather would you rather relive your first love or your last? My first love, honey. Yes, I would rather relive my first love. Hey, TikTokers. What is the thing you regret the most? Um, I don't have any regret. I really don't. I just take them as lessons. I learned that the lessons, the things that we would consider regrets that don't feel good. I just take them in stride. You know, I'm, you know, that's where that forgiveness come in. You know, I'm not that person that the hold grudges or anything like that. Sometimes you find people that have done something to you, and they're continuing to, you know, operate how they operate or operate out of their flesh. That don't mean I gotta operate out of my flesh. So I'm at peace with me. So I'm just not gonna give them that energy, um, to where it allows me to retract back to who I don't want to be. So no, I'm not. I don't have any regrets. They're just all lessons for me, and it's just a lesson for me to learn and keep pushing through. And I know how to move better on the next time because I learned, hey, this is what you do and this is what you don't. No regrets. Okay. Who in your life could you say loves you unconditionally? God, my kids, um, my close circle. Um, yeah, that's who loves me unconditionally. It ain't a contract. It ain't a you do this for me, I do that for you. It's always there, always there. God has always been a part of my life, even in times where I find myself straying away, or you feel like, you know, what the hell, I'm just gonna say it. Um, and when things happen in your life, and you're just like, why would this happen to me? Like, what did I do? Why is this happening to me? I'm, but through it all, it's always been there. When I had to rub two nickels together, not to try to make a sandwich, we're gonna figure it out. It's some, God has allowed people to come in my life and always be there. He's allowed, those close circle people. If I needed something, and if I need $20 right now, and I call, just imagine you call your close circle friend and say, hey, you need $20. Nobody ever gonna hear about it, right? But if I call just a random person, then it's gonna be so much gossip. Girl, Vern called me talking about she needs $20. Child, what's going on over there? That girl said she needs $20. No. So no, definitely don't want that. So yeah. What is the kindest thing someone has said to you? The kindest thing, this morning, Sandra Twyman, I was on her live and she said, Laverne, you're so precious. So just acts of kindness, like that. She acknowledged me by me just saying morning, and someone comes back to me and just shows their acts of kindness or acts of love. Um, just that's for me. It doesn't cost anything for any of us to show common courtesy, show acts of kindness, acts of love. Because hey, if you ask me anything, you're curious about something, I'm always been that person that is not afraid to, share it. I'm not gonna not say what it is. I'm gonna help you if I can help you. I just always been that person because if I'm doing it, you can do it too. If you see that Laverne do flyers, she do travel, she do all these things, right? But hey, I want to do that too. I'm not gonna be like, well, girl, I don't know what to tell you, or this is what you need to do. You have to get to a place where you don't feel like you're the only seat at the table. Like it's enough seats at the table for everybody to partake. And it shouldn't I feel like you should never get to a stingy place in your life where you feel like, well, oh, because I'm doing this, um, you know, this is just all me. That's selfish. That you shouldn't be like that. And God doesn't want us to be like that. He wants us to love one another and treat other people as though he treat as if we want to be treated. You want to treat people the way that you want to be treated. Period. Like, don't be doing all the extra, but you do have those to do the extra. So just keep moving. Pray for them, child. I do all the time. Me looking at me cross-eyed, yeah, I see you, bro, but I'm still here. What's up? uh What song gives you now? What does that mean now? I don't know what that word means. What song gives you a nost? I don't even know how to pronounce that word. And I can't use my phone right now. Moderator, we can come back to that question. You can put it in the comments later. I need to know what that word means. I don't know what it means off the top of my head. Thank you though. I don't know who sent that message. I'm sorry or that question. Um, if you could relive one day, one last time, what day would it be? Woo! If I could relive one day, one last time, I don't know. Y'all ask me these questions. Like, I've always wanted to, like, I told you, relive one day. I don't know if I, any day that allowed me to be with a loved one that was very close to me that I lost. I would relive those days, not just my dad, my cousins, close friends and family. Those are some days that we can relive that I would want to relive. And that's why I say it's very important that we value those people in our life. Tomorrow is not promised to us. So you have a loved one, a close one that you haven't called and checked on or said a hello or love them to whoever. These are the people that you want to make sure that you reach out to, um, and have that connection with. Say whatever it is you need to say because tomorrow's not promised. So when we talk about reliving, it's hard for us to go back and relive. We really can't do that. So we have to cherish every day like it's our last day, because tomorrow is not promised. Nobody knows the day, the time, or the hour, but of course we're all going to be called, and so it's up to us to be um being our best selves, whatever that may be for you. Be that best person that you can be, um, and whatever your beliefs is, or what have you. Because we all want to get that well done, that good and faithful servant when we go before God, or what have you. So just try to live your life the best way that you can, one day at a time. And call your mama, call your daddy, call your people. Hey, okay, next question. It says, what do you wish more people would understand about you? Ooh, that's the book, man. That's the book. So I'm often misunderstood. I'm often misunderstood. A lot of people, and I think a lot of people are often misunderstood. Sometimes people see the fancy stuff and they get so materialistic, like Laverne this or Laverne that. But listen, Laverne didn't always have this. You're talking to a person that know what it is to not have anything, like anything. You're talking to a girl that was homeless. He said again, homeless. It means I ain't had nowhere to stay. I have nothing. I'm going house to house or place to place because I didn't have my own. So I think a lot of times people need to understand, don't judge the book by the cover. Like literally get to know a person. And sometimes people can have a simple conversation with someone. And I ain't saying you got to tell them your life story because I ain't have to say that. But if you just have a real conversation with people, you would begin to know, well, hey, this person is dope, or I thought this, I thought that, because I get that a lot. Sometimes people, judge people by, just their appearance or what they think going on with them. So often misunderstood. I'm often misunderstood by on so many levels. Um, and it's not until the conversation is had. So have the conversation. It don't have to be with me, but I would just advise or recommend that anybody that you feel is um, someone you don't feel like they're approachable or whatever you may think. Like we got to stop judging people and get to know people, accept people for who they are, and you got to meet people where they are. You can't just be like, oh, I'm here and they're there, so I'm not gonna deal with them. Well, girl, a brother wouldn't. Where was you at? I don't think he was always here. You know, we're not always on this high pedestal or this level in our life. Like I don't consider myself to be on a high level or on a high pedestal or anything. Like I'm just Laverne and I'm one day at a time like the next average American. That's just what it is. Like what you get is what you see. and I'm not going to keep like I'm not gonna fake it at all. Like it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not for everybody, and vice versa. So just be you. And when you come across people like that, just hey, if they didn't get to know the gem that you are, that's their fault. Absolutely, Jessica. You're definitely not your past. You're definitely not your mistakes. And that's the important thing that we acknowledge that and we know that because a lot of times um, people don't want to acknowledge it. They we get to a place of depression to where this is my fault or this and that. And I was at that place, for a while too in my life to where I kept saying, Lord, why does this keep happening to me? Like, what is it about me that allows me to feel like it's my fault? And it's not your fault. It's not your fault at all. So just acknowledging that and able to move forward. Okay. What's worse? Being ghosted or led on in a relationship? Child, listen. Ghost me all day. Okay? Ghost me. I'd rather be ghosted than led on any day of the week. If we listen, somebody say they taking me on a date and um uh we supposed to meet at 7 or whatever it is, and I get there and I'm like, okay, he ain't here or whatever. Listen, that allows me to accept it for what it is, versus being caught up in something where I'm led on to believe something or to assume something. I don't want to do that. So ghost me all day. Tell me we meeting at 5 and you never show. I'd rather I'd rather be ghosted than led on. That's just me. Good question, but yeah, ghost me, honey. um, would you rather lose all your photos or all your messages? What kind of question is that? Would you rather? Let me read it again. Would you rather lose all your photos or all your messages? You can take the messages, honey. I think for me, the photos are memories. So yeah, I would lose the messages. And number chitter chatter. Number chitter chatter. The photos are those that we cherish, that we can look back on. And as you can see now, we got all these tags and stuff we do all the time. Throwback Thursday and Flashback Friday. So yeah, we definitely want to keep our photos if we could. Good question though. Again, y'all should be looking. We're trying out this new thing. So I'm live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, as well as Twitter. I say Twitter, but isn't it's X now? Like when I tell y'all I was on my phone and I was like, why is X up here? I had no idea. But apparently it's X now. It's not Twitter. So yeah, that's a whole new thing. Favorite movie? Uh Lord. Uh Jesus, what is the name of that? Beyond the Lights is my favorite movie. One of my favorites. Um, because I can relate to that movie in so many ways. Beyond the Lights. It dealt with a young girl that always felt. Um, just watch the movie because I can go on and on, and I want to get through the questions because I know that a Q&A will be longer than I typically would be live. So I don't want to go into that, but I do like Beyond the Lights. The Notebook. Oh yeah, it's a good one too. What emotion do you trust the least? What emotion? I trust my emotions. I trust my emotions. I don't think I have a least. I am who I am. Um, I just I can I want I don't. What emotion do you trust the least? Like I don't think it's emotion that I don't trust. Like if the way it comes is just the way it comes naturally. I'm okay with that. What is the toughest reality check you ever faced? Reality check. Um, I want to say disappointment. Being let down, being told no. Especially when it's something that you really want to do, and you just like, okay, I'm putting my best foot F forward. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Like, how could these people, tell me no, right? But I had to come to the realization that, hey, people are not necessarily going to see, and I was reminded of this too just recently, that people are not going to, not everyone is going to see or want the change in you or accept the change in you. Um, but regardless, it's going to happen, whether they want it or they don't, whether they accept it or they don't accept it. Because remember, I don't look to be accepted by anybody, right? But you're going to have some people that don't want to accept the change in you. And I know that everyone is not going to accept the changes in my life, the walk in my life, the path that I'm trying to continue to steady be on my life. And I've always been on this path, but at this point, I've become vocally about it. I've become in the forefront about it. I have let down the fear of being on camera and going live and it's showing and expressing who it is that I am. Right. Jessica. Oh yes, betrayal. No one like listen, betrayal is one of a tough one as well. It's a tough thing to deal with. You feel like you're putting your all into something, and to know that you've been betrayed, you've been misled, you've been misused. So I feel you, Jessica. Would you rather be blind to your flaws or to other flaws? I don't want to be blind to no flaws. I don't want to be blind to any flaws. You know, that's why I do my best to be aware, to be alert, um, to have my spirit of discernment on point. Like, they don't look too good, Byron. And it doesn't always happen, but no, I don't want to be blind to nothing. I want to be alert. What you say we doing? Oh, really? That will be. Oh, okay. I want to know it all. What is the most painful what if to live with? What if? What I think the what ifs fall into what is the most painful what if to live with? What if I did this? What if I did that? I think that falls into um I don't know. I don't want to have any regrets, but I think we all get to a place where we think, what if I did this differently or what if I did that? And that's great. But for me personally, I just try to learn from um certain things I've done in my life and just try to make the best of them. If I think anybody would say if they can go back and do this differently, if I can go back, especially example, if we can go back and I could be in my 20s again. I have my 20 body, right? What if I put down the burger? What if I didn't eat the fries? What if I stayed working out? What if I don't want to do that. So I'm just for me. Um, I don't think I have any like most painful things. Like it's just There's been lessons. We learn from it. And I feel like if you want to change it, you want to do something differently, then you do it. Don't what if yourself. I wouldn't what if myself. What if I just what if that? And I'm gonna fall into regret and all that stuff. I don't do that. What if this would happen to me is more what if this would happen to me is more what it is for me. Yeah, that's real. It's just what it is, you know. It's no what ifs. It's what it is. Science says, "Are you open to love again?" Child, is that. I believe in love. I think love is beautiful. Um, I think there's always somebody for some for the there's always somebody for somebody, right? So yeah, I never I tell you that I think that's the craziest thing. Like a lot of times people wouldn't know about something unless you put it out there, right? And of course, social media, we put it out there, child. We throw somebody away, we hear up, change our status, we do whatever, right? And a lot of times, for me personally, I moved out of emotions in that situation. However, yeah, I I believe in love. You know, listen, I don't think there's a number of times that you should do anything. I mean, you get it right, you get it right. You only know about it because it told you about it. You know, it's just one of those things. And a lot of times, some people did the same thing, and it's just listen. You only know about it because I said I just don't know. They just don't know about you. But I'm not ashamed of it um, or anything. But yeah, open to love again. Love is beautiful. Why not? Would you rather love someone who can't commit or be committed to someone who you don't truly love? What? Would you rather love someone who can't commit or be committed to someone? No, neither, honey. Vern ain't doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I don't want to be loving someone that can't commit, and I don't want to be committed to someone who I don't truly love because then I will be settling. What am I settling for? Am I settling for what this person, who this person is, what this person can do for me, how we look, how it appears? I'm not doing it. Listen, I'm not doing it. I'm telling you, they called me the first 48 this year for a reason. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. My mental health, um, my peace of mind is more just is so much more important than to be falling in a trap or to be living a lie. I'm not doing it. And if anybody's doing it, I don't know how you're doing it, but hope you come out of it. Hope you come out of it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the comments over here too. Girl, they called me they called me the first 48 honey. I wouldn't play. That's a little shade. I listen, I'm still human now. I'm throwing a little shade now. But yeah, they call those that know, honey. They was calling Bird first 48. uh girl, wait a minute. Y'all real nosy. Would you rather relive the first time you fell in love or your first date, child? Well, depends on what type of first love we talking about. Nah, I don't want to go back. I'm good. I don't want to go back. I mean, if you talk about a first date, honey, I mean, come on now. My first date, I don't know where I I don't remember my first. Do I remember my first date? Mm-mm. I don't remember. I don't remember it. So no, I don't want to relive the first time I fell in love or my first date. I'm good. I don't. I'd rather go forward because I don't remember it anyway. Like no cap. I just don't remember it. If you walked into a room with everyone you ever met, who you go looking for? With everybody I ever met? Hmm, I don't know. I don't know that question. It could be a lot of people. If you walk into a room with everyone you ever met, and who you go looking for? I don't know what it depends on what category we're talking about. I don't think there's no right or wrong answer for that. I mean, it just depends. Like who in the room? But you said everyone I ever met. I don't know, I'm going to find my children, child. I'm always looking for them. KJ, come on. I'm looking for my kids. I don't know. That's just depends on that could be a bunch of people. You got no favorite song. Whew. I don't think I have a favorite. There's so many songs. I don't mm, favorite song. I don't know that I have a favorite. I don't know that I have a favorite. I don't there's so many songs. I don't think I have a favorite. I think I like everything. I'll say that. So I like gospel, I like R&B, I like rap, I like country, I love soul music, I love blues, I love me some blues. I love uh reggae. I mean, I love all genres of music. So for me, I like everything. Like I like Latin music too, like salsa music too. I like it all. Very, very well rounded. I don't know if that's all the questions or not. I don't see none popping up. But listen, if that is all the questions, and I guess if it is, then I won't see no more popping up. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in with Talks with Vern. I hope that this Q&A has allowed you more insight to get to know your host a little bit more. Um, of course, we go live. I go live on Saturdays at 5. And of course, sometimes I have guests on the live with me too. So if you ever want to be a guest on Talks with Vern, you can always it's going across the screen at the bottom over here. For the TikTokers that's live, it's in my bio. You can see it in my bio, the link, and you can fill out a request to be on a guest on Talks with Vern. But really hope that this allows you guys to get more insight on who I am. The questions that you did answer, as you can see, some of y'all caught me off guard with these questions now. It's like, whoo. Because I really want, like I said, I didn't want it to be where I seen the questions ahead of time or anything like that. I wanted it to be very authentic and not something that I needed to think about, research, or I didn't want that. So I appreciate those that participated, those who emailed, DM the questions in, also those that commented in, tuned in. You could have been doing anything this evening, but you chose to come over and chat it up and talk with your girl Vern. So I definitely appreciate it. Hey, honey, how are you? So again, you can catch us on all major platforms: Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram. Look, I said X instead of Twitter this time, as well as TikTok. I'm going to get to a point where I do little clips because of course, my daughter, she was like, you could do those little, you could do like, say I do a whole live and then I could just do like, I don't even know what it's called, but it's a way to, if you don't like watch the whole thing, you just you can like clip a video or something. It's something. My daughter was telling me about it, but I think it's like a short. You could do like a short or something. So I'll get into doing those too. Um, this time it was a little lengthy than normal. We normally I normally try to be live 30 minutes to an hour, no longer than that. But because it was a Q&A, I know it's going to be longer. But I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you woke up this morning, you're winning. In my buddy James' voice, he says that all the time, every morning when he goes live. He said, if you woke up this morning, you're winning. So if you woke up today, you're definitely winning. Thank you for tuning in. As always, peace, love, and happiness. Deuces.